everybody. This is Art Shorts by Sharen, and here we are today. Um, I'm pulling it back up here where I need it, and telling you about what we're doing today. I was doing a fish, and I decided to do it for you on white paper because I was doing it on black, and I thought it might come across more for you on white paper. Um, and then I'm going to use colored ink and colored uh, markers to fill in this uh, wonderful fish that I'm doing. Okay, my fish is going to start by doing pretty much a circle. Then we're going to make an X for the tail. Now, I decided that I wanted this fish to have an overlip with teeth on it. So I'm going to create that. And someplace around here I have some markers. Of course, I don't really need to. I can just hang a tooth out there in front and a tooth out that comes along. Then I'm going to do an eye, and first it's going to be a circle. Then we're going to do part circle inside of the circle because the eye is going to be looking out in front of it. Then we're going to do sort of an eyebrow to make it look like it's really not happy with whoever or whatever that they are seeing out in front. Then I'm going to make a fin, and I'm going to do this fin in triangles that are wiggly. Like so. Then up at the back, we're going to create the back fin with triangles also, and they don't have to be straight and they don't have to be equal. Remember, the ocean is making those back fins wiggle back and forth, and that's how he moves. It's Freddy the fish. There we go. Now we need an upper fin and a lower fin. And they don't have to be exactly like I'm doing them. They can be your own imagination. And I don't care if you're 80 or 8, you can still have a wonderful imagination doing something crazy and silly, and this is quite silly. So now we're going to start filling it in, and I think what I'm going to do is fill it in with pencils first, and then we will fill it in with markers. But that way it will give me an idea of what I want to um, be doing with this fish. Let's see, I'm still going. Okay, I'm going to give the fish a blue eye. So we're going to fill that in with a blue eye. And this part of the eye is going to be white. Then the eyebrow we're going to make black. Then I'm going to make the front part of this fish different than what the back part of this fish is going to be. So we're going to have to figure out what kind of skin does the front part of this fish have. I think I'm going to use green. And we're going to start making this green. You can do your colored pencils on this, and then you can go to your markers and start working with your markers to fill it in better than what the pencil does. The pencil just gives you an idea of what's going on here. And I guess I made a mistake there. That's okay, because we have white and we can erase this and put white up there, because the green went right inside of the eye, and that's probably not good for the eye. Let's see if we can use some of this. Now I got several kinds of markers. This is a paint marker that we can use, and be good to line up. And every once in a while, these kind of markers, you got to kind of set it down and squish the little thing on the front where the ink comes out, so that the ink comes out better. You got to be very careful around those teeth. You don't want the teeth to be green. If the teeth are green, then that means that they're not brushing their teeth. You can go back over this again if you want the skin to be smoother. Um, you can go over it with another color so it looks scaly. I gotta squish it down to get more of the ink out, or the paint out, so that it will cover more area. And it's okay if you make mistakes, because you can always paint over your mistakes, or you can make your mistake something that is perfectly fine and looks great. Sometimes I would people would ask me why I made something the way I did, and I would just look them in the eye and tell them because I meant it to be that way. Well, the green is looking pretty good. Now, I like to, when I'm using colors of different kinds of colors all over, I like to do the formula of three. Three paints, three colors, and three places on the item that I'm painting. So if you're doing green someplace, you're going to have to do that green in two other places. Then you've got to decide where those two other places are going to be. I think I'm going to make a couple of the back fins green. This doesn't seem to have as much paint in them. I'll probably have to get a different one now to finish my greens out. But that's a start. And where else could we have a green? I think we could have a green right up here. So remember, three colors in three different places. So there's the green in three different places, and if we have a lighter green, we'll put it in three different places also. Let's see. Oh, I love purple and blue and orange. This is going to be a multicolored fish, and we're going to have fun with it. Now, I think I'm going to use purple for under the chin, down here, this part of the fish. I'm gonna have to turn that fish around because I was laying my finger in the green. Something I would do. It's nice and hot out there today, but it isn't too bad. I was out on my patio for a little bit. Now, this is sort of a lavender, I think. Markers are fun to work with. You can do it. You can do markers on paper, and you can do markers on mirrors or glass. That would always be fun to do. Now I'm only going to do this color on every other one. And do the one where I made the mark or the line work. I'm going to use this one for the in between. We got to make those teeth look a lot better than they do. They look pretty scrawny. Those teeth do. Okay, now I think I'm going to find some dark blue. And some light blue. And no, well, I better put the purple in the other two spots that I need to put in. Gotta remember the rule. 3 colors in 3 different places. So we have our purple in 3 different places. Now, I think what I'm going to do is color the whole fin here, and then I'm going to start making scallops so it looks like, let's see, these are scales. And we're going to do the scales in. Look how your scales, you can put your scales on by making a mountain and then make a whole row of mountains, and then you go from the center of one mountain to the center of another mountain all the way around. And then you keep doing it until you get to the back where the tail fin is. Where is Okay, I'm going to try to make the teeth up in front look more menacing. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to use a white pencil for that. So that'll have to happen like later. So, first thing is the fin. What are we going to do with the fin? You know, we've got blue there. Why don't we make the fin many shades of blue? What do I have here? I don't know if I have a light blue or if that's the same blue. It would be nice if I had a light blue here. We'll see if this is light blue. And always cover the end of your marker up so that it doesn't dry out, which is one of the things I have difficulty with because I forget to do that. Yeah, that comes out pretty good. Now let's see what this does. Well, it's pretty much the same as what the one on the end is. The fin of many colors. You're going to have to think about what you're going to name it. I think I named it in the when I put down what this was Freddy the fish, my fish from the pond. My pond is very small since I don't have very much room outdoors. Well, that's interesting. All of my markers fell on the floor. So we're going to play a little bit of pickup after this is over. This is not a very good one. I think that one needs thrown away. I'm not even going to be able to back up here. But I do see some different blues down here on the floor that I can use. Very good. There we go. That's not bad. Now I'm going to color in the eye. Then I think I'm going to do this bottom fin. Do one of them in a blue. And just to be ornery, I'm going to do all the fins at least one thing in blue. What this does is that makes the eye go around the fish and makes it so that you can look at every part of the fish. Now, I'm going to finish doing these scales. Remember, they're leapfrogging like they're going from the top of one mountain to the top of the next. I think this is kind of fun to do this. It'll take some time. You can't do it all at once. You can't do it all in an hour. You're going to have to um, decide how much time that you want to spend on my fish, your fish, Freddy the fish. But I think he's coming along pretty fun. And I think I'm going to keep doing scales until we get a back behind where the fin is. I think that will create a depth to it. behind the fish is fin now. I might add some more scales over here. And then this part will be a different color. So that's pretty good. What you can do is do your fish and come back next week and show it to me. Um, you can take a picture of it and email it to me and tell me about your fish. So just email it to the place on your screen on your YouTube that you can use, and then I'll have this all ready for next week, and we can work on finishing our fish or do something else. So I will see you then.